Morning, business students. So an article from the Times yesterday talks about the potential pay for our good friend Elon Musk. $56 billion in a pay deal. It sounds sensational, it sounds amazing. However, he's not been paid in 6 years according to the article. But since I've just started motivational theory with my lower sixth, this is a great article to talk about money as a motivation, or the reasons behind companies offering such ridiculously large pay packets. Why are they willing to pay that much money to someone like Elon Musk? We shall see. So here's an article that I have adapted talking about this. And you will see, there's a bit of a conversion there. We could have done a maths question, couldn't we? So you pause the video, read the article, have a look through it. The question up here is assess the likely benefits. It's an 8 marker. So we are going to want benefit number 1, P paragraph, however. We always need to have balance. Benefit number 2, because there's an S on the end of it. And remember, if you only say benefit, you're going to get 4 marks out of 8 because there's no balance, both need a however. So the benefits to a company such as Tesla. So go careful with this type of question. This is not to Elon Musk getting $56 billion of using financial techniques to motivate employees. So it's talking about possibly the impact on the employees, and also it's the benefit to the company. So remember where the hook is here. The hook is benefit to Tesla, and yes, motivated employees, but we need to have motivation of those employees contextualized. Pause the video, look for your evidence, quickly knock up an 8 marker, 1.2 minutes per mark. We'll call that 10 minutes. Pause the video. Did you pause? No. So here we are. So we've got lots of evidence in here. We've got very interesting amounts of money that are dropped in here. And we can see that his pay, if he gets that amount of money, is directly linked to the value of stocks and shares in Tesla. Okay, Tesla might be losing its way a little bit at the moment. They're now not selling the most electric cars in the world, and we'll see what happens with their price. They've already started lowering prices in previous years. Looking through the 8 marker though, and we know from feedback from the chief examiner, you should always start with some form of demonstrating an understanding. So here we obviously understand we need to define our financial techniques or our financial incentives. Refer to monetary rewards offered to employees to motivate them to perform specific tasks or achieve certain business goals. So this sort of lays the foundation for looking for evidence. So if it was me, I would see this question, I would very quickly plan it like I have up here. That is the extent of my plan. And then I would define. I would then go to the case study and find myself a couple of pieces of evidence. Remember, our howevers also need to be contextualized, not necessarily with evidence, but it needs to be about Tesla. So, because it says likely benefits, I always like to start with one likely benefit is that financial incentives could improve the company performance. That's my point. This is important because, so we're starting our classic BLT style of chain of argument here. You could use leading to, leading to, leading to. You can do whatever you want, but make it obvious that we've got chains of argument here, and we need a minimum of 3 of them. If you contextualize, you're probably going to write more than 3, but don't waffle on these answers because these are a time trap, 1.2 minutes per mark. They're meant to be easy because the later questions get harder. You need your time for those. By linking executive pay directly to achieving strategic goals, that's sort of the definition, leads to Tesla encouraging its top executives, including Elon Musk. You'll notice Elon Musk is not in the question, so putting that in there is also application, leading to a focus on increasing Tesla's market share to something from the case study, as seen with the quote, rewards based on Tesla's market value. Okay, there's at least 3 chains of argument there. And here we've got a lovely little bit at the end, which is linked to obviously their market value, and then we've used a quote to justify that as well, which gives us another chain of argument. However, lovely way to tell the examiner your counter arguments coming on a separate line makes it even more obvious. The size of the incentive can be seen as excessive, potentially leading to an unfathomable sum that raises concerns about proportionality and fairness to other Tesla workers and shareholders. Let's unpack that. We have a quote. It's definitely in context. We've talked about Tesla workers because up here it says motivate employees, and this case study is based around one of them. I'm thinking not all Tesla workers have got the potential of £56 billion bonus, dollars even. Also, I've put shareholders in there because this is a listed company. So that's a bit more application. Attracting and retaining top talent is crucial for innovation-driven companies like Tesla. Okay? Now, what would be even better is I've put up here one likely benefit to make it absolutely obvious. I know I've put a space in there to make it obvious, but it could be another likely benefit. And that reminds me as the learner to make sure that I am writing about 2 benefits. This is important because high-profile compensation packages like those offered to Elon Musk, more application, leads to application and retaining visionary leaders in the technology sector. Technology sector is not in the question, that is also application, where competition for top talent is fierce. We know that. Musk's compensation includes conditions lead to him, not very good English, but it's a chain of argument, being tied to the company for long periods, leading to stability and consistent leadership. As seen, you'll see this is a lovely way to bring in extra evidence. Elon has not been paid for any of his work for Tesla for the past 6 years. I'm sure he'll cope. However, there's my counter argument. There is a risk that these large packages may perhaps make, that's not in the quotation, Tesla's directors starry-eyed, overshadowing objective decision-making linked to Tesla's aim of selling more cars. Maybe they just love Elon and maybe he'll just go and, I don't know, buy Twitter for a laugh and then not focus on Tesla as much as he probably could have. When he started focusing on Twitter, X, actually the share price went down at Tesla because everyone believes that Elon is clearly the golden child, and he pretty much is. But without Elon's 100% focus, what will Tesla do? Well, he's back a bit now. So here is that answer. And remember, we were looking at likely benefits, and we are looking for that. Okay, remember, we're not aiming for perfection. Well, we sort of are actually with the 8 markers because they're easy. If you do 3 chains of argument with evidence and you've got an in-context counter-argument, remember, if it's an abstract counter-argument, you can't have the marks for it. If you do that, you should get 8 marks. But if we get to level 3 and we get 6 to 8 out of 8, then it's a pretty good answer. But remember, if you forget to write that because you only answer the question, you will be capped. And if your answer is unbalanced, yeah, you're going to get capped at 4 marks out of 8. What a silly waste of a mark. So, according to the chief examiner, sorry to repeat, you should have a good start to your question to make sure you're actually answering the question and to demonstrate some understanding. This is talking about sales forecast because clearly I've taken this out of an examiner report. It also says make sure that you have 2 lines of argument, benefits, not benefit, and always provide a balance, okay, which is howevers. If you do that, you will probably get 8 out of 8. Hopefully that was useful. Go back and reread the article. It's a great article. And maybe a little bit later, if I get time, I will write about the article to do with ASOS